Good morning. This is basically a carry-on from the last video I put up of an Indian phone. We'll talk as we go through. I showed yesterday, which one was it? Get the right one in a minute. Yeah, this model. This was based on the 706, and it was, they called it a switching telephone. Well, the phone now in here looks like just a standard phone as would be installed in a subscriber's house. To show you the diagrams on there, nice actually, the diagrams are there. It's nothing about a switching telephone. It's telephone 677 auto. I suppose by auto they mean with a dial. There's the diagrams so you can read it, what's on there. It's awkward when they're stuck in the under the cover, you can't always get them pictured well, but I think that'd be okay. And also you've got a diagram of the layout. See if I can show you this. Now, that is the actual printed circuit board with the components showing the terminals and all the other components. Any numbers there. Left it on there long, so if you want to take a picture of it, obviously pause the video and you've got a chance. Yeah, this phone, as normal, has got their trademark on the back, or on the top, ITI. The innards are slightly different from the other one I showed. Now let's make sure I'm showing you the right ones. Or am I? I'm getting confused here. Yeah, I thought I was looking at the wrong one. This is what happens when you get a bit older. You get a bit confused. Now, this is the phone associated with that case. It hasn't got anything about switching on it, which I mentioned. It shows 3 of those little components. I don't quite know what they are, but let's have a look at the diagram again. On the diagram you've got that little bridge network. I don't know if they're them or not. Mind you, they show 4 there, and on this board there's only 3. So a bit of a mystery. If anyone knows what they are, give us a shout. Also got down VR2, which means variable resistor. Well, how those are variable, I just don't know. But anyhow, that's what that is. Your Aztec coil is the modern type with 2 capacitors. Nicely laid out. Yeah, same type of bell as on the other one, exactly the same. And the same dial. I won't take the dial out, it's the Japanese type dial. I'm pretty sure they're Japanese. I'll turn it on. This one actually has not got a cover on it. Whether someone's taken the cover off many years ago, I don't know. But no, it shows it without the cover. It's more or less based on the Western Electric type of dial as used in the States. On the back, turning him over, you've got like a date here, where is it? There we are. 8687. IP&T is obviously Indian Post and Telecom. The sticker, which is long since gone. Noticing these typical vents that they use. It's plastic base. The rest of it's the same. The cradle springs there, operated at the back there. It's quite nicely made actually, I thought. It's nice to have a diagram with it. The normal handset again, once again the same type as we've seen. Anyhow, leaving this phone, I also found upstairs an earlier Indian phone. It's obviously not as early as the 332 type, but nevertheless still quite early. Now the dial on this one, for some unknown reason, don't ask me why, that has been glued in. I would think probably manufacturers or where they've been refurbished or something like that, that has been glued in. That would in fact, this part here is screwed through to the base, and in theory as you take the four screws of the base away, the cover would lift off, leaving the dial on there, but in this case it doesn't do that. Probably a modification that they've done, I don't know why. Anyhow, you got in there, you've got the normal, well, would be the normal capacitor would sit between those two support rings, but obviously it's not there, it's been changed, and in its place has been put a different one. If I can show it, there we are. That's the capacitor. The induction coil, which I had to modify by gluing it down, goes on there. It's the old style. When I say the old style, it's fairly large, and you'll see with the updated version of this phone how they are a bit different. And once again you've got these grills. If I turn it over, if I can just about show it, it gives you the instructions on there. No diagrams on, well, there was a diagram, but someone years ago has obviously taken it off, so the diagram doesn't exist. Anyway, let's come on to, before I do, the handsets are the same type. Okay, they're black instead of coloured, but they're the same kind and have the same inserts. You have your good top hat type transmitter. Did I show you? No, I didn't. This would be the cover. Now, this is the cover for this phone. You've got a diagram in here. Hold it on a while so you make it out. There's those components again. It looks like those components. They're in sort of a bridge network. There's the rest of it. And this one's called a switching telephone as well. Extensions for external use. So it looks like if a telephone's got a little button on it, they call it a switching telephone. And this certainly does have a button, which we'll have a little look. There we are, got ring. So it's obviously there to, if you're calling someone, just press that, I imagine. Not 100%. There's the trademark again. Now let's have a look at the actual innards. Slightly different, well, more than slightly different. There's the older one, quite a bit older, and the more up-to-date job. Exactly the same model. This time you've got a printed circuit board with 5 of those little, I can show it to you, 5 of those devices. I don't quite know what they are, but anyhow, if anyone else does know, let us know. You've got a much smaller induction coil, Aztec. Got one large capacitor. The arrangement here is the same as the other one, and in fact it looks very similar to the arrangement on 332 type telephones, so it's probably from that. And you've got your contacts there. The dial is the modern type again, the Chinese one, I'd say. You've got your bells upside down, your ringer. The ringer's the same as same as that one, exactly the same. The induction, the induction coil is much smaller, more in keeping with the modern times. And that's it. You've got there's where your button would operate, the ringing button, and also the lead has got more wires, not just the pair, which indicates it would go and does other things. I'll show you the bottom of this, the other side, did I? Yeah, there's the other side. Sorry it's upside down. Let's try and turn it around. I don't want to damage anything by... Oh, that's okay. There's what it's got on there. Someone can read the Indian, that's on there. And it's the Indian Telephone Industries Limited, Bangalore, India. These were in fact quite well made telephones, and they're the 2 screws or bolts that holds the dial assembly down like so. But on the other one, the dial had been glued in, so it had obviously been glued in, reassembled it, and it's gone off. In fact, some of the drips of the stuff has dripped into the gongs. It looks like they've used Araldite. Why, I don't know. I just don't know, but that's what has happened. Anyhow, that is more or less it, so any comments please make. I know this is slightly different, where you've got three phones, yeah, 3 phones for the price of 1, so to speak. But this concludes some of the Indian, not say all of them. I've still got one upstairs which I must show you. It's a 332 version with a difference. You look at it, it looks like a normal 332 with the innards as you would find over here, not on the base. But I will go into that. I believe the dial needs a bit of tender loving care, as they say, and I think the capacitor might have gone down, but that's a job to do. It's a nice phone actually. It's ivory. Ivory. I would say it's made in England by Automatic Electric ATE. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. Once again, thanks for watching. I think I've deserved a cup of coffee. Anyhow, thanks again. Thank you.